and young persons. Individuals between the age of 10 to 24. But because in Nigerian context we align with the African Union definition of youth at 35 years, we also sometimes design programs that cover those age beyond. Then pediatric are individuals between 0 to 14 years. So we are clear. These are the people. So if you want to give me funding, do not bring funding that you want me to work with people that are 45, 60. As good as your money look, I'll tell you, Oga, I am not moving outside my mandate and outside the population that I'm prioritizing. Apparently, there are other organizations that I can recommend for you that deals with this population group. Now you are clear with your target population. There is what we call need. The child that is 0 to 9 years now. Sorry, I will bore you more with public health related things, because that's my field. I'm not a politician. So please, a child 0 to 9 years, does the child need food? Does the child need food, like nutrition? It needs nutrition, ba? Does it need medication, like medical services? Because they are prone to maybe other diseases, bacteria. That's why some of them get vaccinated at early age to avoid all those things. So the child that is 10 to 14 years, who have now moved a bit from just being the baby that the mother always back, or the father always hold and walk around, that he can't vent for himself, to the one that is now about to finish primary 6. What do you think that particular 10 to 14 will need? Does it need education? Does it need school? It needs school, right? It also needs access to services, health services, definitely. So, but let's look at somebody that is 20 to 24 now. This one don't already graduate from university. Is above the age of consent in Nigeria, which is 18 years. What kind of services do you think that person will need? Does that person need family-related education? Yes? Does it need to be properly educated about sexual health? Yes? Because if we don't, they will go and pregnant somebody. The lady can be pregnant, or the guy can bring a lady and say he pregnant. So you realize that each and every of these people have different needs. So the need assessment helps you to what? In a simple term, know that when you are designing activity, this is what we'll be doing for this age band. If we are designing for 10 to 14, this is what we will do. So when you are done with your need assessment, now you move to what I call your thematic areas. Your thematic areas sometimes come before even the need assessment, depending on how you want to do. But the thematic area is just in simple term. Anybody knows that these are the things that your organization will do. Are you doing health? Are you doing education? Are you doing governance? Are you doing ICT? Are you doing gender? Are you doing volunteerism, consultancy? Are you doing maybe policy? Are you doing human rights? Are you doing climate? Those are your thematic area. In a glance, anybody that sees it knows that if I need people with experience and expertise to address issues around these areas, this is the organizations they are good in it. When you finish that thematic theme, you come to what we call the core strategy. Your core strategy is now, how do you even forge ahead now with doing those thematic that you see? How do you go about it? Then you begin to hear things like advocacy. If, for instance, in Karu now, as I was coming, let's say the road was bad, and it has been causing a lot of cars to spoil. Don't you think people will find a way of going to meet who is the authority, or who is the chief here, or who is the local government chairman or councillor? Yes? That going to meet him to talk about the issue and to ask him to do something is advocacy. So advocacy is also influencing change. There is a problem, and then you connect the problem. Who do we think can solve the problem? And you engage those people. There is a whole lot about that one, which I don't want to waste my time much on it. Capacity building. The Bible will say before you build a house, you have to sit down first and take stock of how much it will cost you. Yes? Before you even forge ahead. It's the same thing. Nobody goes into what you don't have knowledge on. And let me tell you the honest truth. I lie not before God. As long as you have no knowledge, you have not invested in learning about where God has stationed you, God will just be there, looking at you and waiting for you. His ability to use you effectively revolves around the knowledge you have deposited. I think it was Paul telling Timothy, study to show yourself approved. So you can't say you are going into NGO and you have not sit down to really. There are too many things that people are doing that you have a new idea. What can you do differently? What can you offer differently that people are already doing? So you need to study. So we invest more in capacity building. We don't send a staff to go and do anything when we have not trained that person. We don't employ people to do anything when you don't have knowledge about that thing. So your knowledge is also your selling point. Some of you will send CV for work. It's not like your CV doesn't show that you are a graduate. The one that tell me I have practiced this work for 4 years or practiced this work for 2 years is different from the one that said I graduated with this field. In the space of NGO, we are not after your qualification. Sometimes is not really necessary. The experience is what we want. NGO is not like a structured company, private sector, where there is a minimum standard. In NGO, with your diploma, as far as you have gained wealth of experience in a field, NGO can elevate you to a position of what a director in another place is doing. So when we started, we didn't have money. 5 local government there, we started operating in both McCarthy and what do we call it? Is it Kaura local government also? We will use our personal money. That's why I tell you, when you start, it should not be about profit, it's about impact. Yes? So we will use our own money. I don't want to come to the spiritual aspect, but I want you to see some of the sacrifice we also make. Don't feed them. You know, you can't keep children for long without giving them what to eat. They will lose attention. So we are doing that. And I will say this: the people you hire to you should be people in today with me are people that I also picked right from school. While others did not believe, this one believed. Do you know it's very risky for you to put your entire life under the vision and leadership of somebody? It takes total faith and total trust to take that kind of risk. So you need individuals like that, because those are the people that organization and run with it like their own. They see themselves, it helps them. And you need to demonstrate that leadership. Don't be a founder and executive director or a CEO of a company or NGO that you are so lazy not to do anything, but you feel like the people you hire should do the things. No. They ask them to leave the organization. Just to put a record, these guys, I told them years ago, I say, I will also say, they say faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So it's speaking the reality into existence. And even when you are not yet seeing it happening, you are living with the consciousness that this thing will happen. Because this is your reality. It will eventually happen. And be careful with the words we speak. Be careful with the word we speak. If the only thing you do is to condemn your organization, if the only thing, maybe you start the company and then before you even start operation, you say, will it even work? Will people even partner with us? That point of incident, you have already finished the organization. So we do capacity building. We also do what? Community dialogue. We also do what? Volunteerism. We have over 490 volunteers across Nigeria now who saw what we are doing and said, okay, they just want to add value to what we are doing. I will speak about volunteerism as is part of what I'm also supposed to share briefly. Then it comes to the point of activities. What and what do you want to be doing in form of activities? Don't start big. Don't start big. You can't impress any funder who maybe have been funding NGO for years with one elaborate activity that you do. You can't. Don't seek to impress. Be comfortable with the level of impact you do and speak about it. Because people want to see that if you can be conscious about this and then this is what you have done little. If we add little money to you, it means many people. Start with nothing, but don't aim to stop at nothing. You don't start NGO with money. Let me be fair with you. You don't start with money. But when you begin to add value, money calls itself. Values brings the money to you. People will be the one to go outside and talk about. We know one organization in this community that when this problem happened, they are the ones that used to come and find how they can get this person to access this support or this service, or refer this person to this clinic, or refer this person to this maybe vocational skill work. So many things. People will carry those voices. And you know what's fly? What's fly? So your activities now, start little. When we started, Rapostu is here. I'm calling him Rapostu because he raps. It was rap that time. We would just do music concert. If I wanted to do a major NGO activity, now it costs millions of naira. But concert, if we go to a church and the church give us the hall, the only additional money we need is for the poster, where we will post for people to know there is an event. The next thing now will be, do we still want to provide refreshment for people? You know? Because that time we were not buoyant to pay honorarium. So he will come that time. We are not paying him. But when we call him, he will come. And at some point I was like, how do I now integrate this NGO into the music itself? So we were not doing it big. We started it small. But we were documenting that small thing that we are doing. A politician can come here and maybe when I go out, I will say, I just finished engaging and empowering so number of church members. Abi? But an NGO person will come and said, okay, I have been able to provide capacity building and mentorship to so number of people in the church. These two people are saying different things. But one thing is common there. They are giving you figures. Yes? And they are telling you something happened. A service happened. So those are the little things you document. When you are now, I will soon move to the phase of funding. Yes? Because it's also very key. Those are the little things that you document. Even if today maybe the pastor called you to say, we notice your organization deals with orphans and vulnerable children. Please, there is a woman that her son, that they brought a baby and the baby does not have food to eat and all those things. And the church refer that baby to your organization. That is just one baby. But the fact that one baby came and you've been able to provide nutrition and that baby maybe as a way of health, it shows that from church we can get people refer for service to NGO. And from NGO we can refer people to church for other services.
We are going to leave some of the talks till Sunday. If you have questions, you can also write them out. There are one or two questions that I want to ask him. Amen. But have you learned anything so far? You are sure? Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for blessing us. Who can remind me the name of his organization? African Network of Young People and Adolescent. Adolescent what? Adulterers. When did you 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are offices in all these countries.
Yes, we have affiliates as a platform where in Nigeria alone we have over 150 organizations that subscribe to us. And then across the region, we also have about 70 that subscribe to us across different countries. So we facilitate access for them for funding, for maybe engagement and other support as it regards to their different needs and different countries like that.
Wonderful. 11 countries. This is a grace for Geo. This is a Geo anointing. When we talk like we'll burn the world, we'll spend the billions. It's altar we are thinking. And there could be somebody here that is seated that God is saying, your call is. Let me say something. I remember those days, during the early days of rap and the rest, where you have concerts, I'll come and minister and all that. And you too, suddenly, the next thing we know that you are now into an NGO. I want you to talk about that transition period. How did you know that it's no longer music? I have to move. Because there are people who can be found in the wrong thing and they are still doing what I'm called for.
So let me just share this personally with all of us. Like I said before, your relationship with God is what is key and central. Focus not much around the glamour, but be interested in hearing how the person moves. So I told you God used music. Mutual and past. The knowledge of God helps you, allowing me to have a personal relationship with him. I have a humble beginning into my transition, and I was sharing it earlier with him. I am one person that believes as an early baby believer, I can test God. So I will sit down and I will say, I want to room and start praying. I go back and I start studying the Bible. So I was busy fellowshipping with God. Then God will now bring the reality of those things. In fact, the watch, there was a time I said I needed a chain watch 24 hours after somebody came to give me. The same music that I said, okay, I am doing music. I said, God, you give me this inspiration. I don't want to spend my money if you are the one indeed that give me. I found that my music were being paid by people for me to record. So even when the NGO started coming, that pattern, I don't want, maybe I'll use the word principle. I needed to still go back and then commune with God because I was now having conflicts of interest. While my passion was driven towards music, my mandate, or how will I put it, my work is supposed to be NGO. But I didn't get to know that on time. But God needed to help me build a solid foundation with him so that I will trust him beyond wherever I am being asked to move. So I am sorry, please. I'm a practical Christian. I'm sorry. I will go sometimes 100 days fasting. I will go sometimes 7 days without food. Just water fasting. Just because I just want to. God help me to understand where am I heading to. What are you mandating me to do? If music is not really where I should focus, then show me your grace and show me the evidence that NGO indeed is the pathway you are pushing me. In one of these prayers, in one of these getting close to God, I was in a mountain when a prophet approached me and said, God sent me to tell you this, that you will register a company and I will give you an early rise. And he gave me 3 books, different books, Ezekiel 37:47, and then also first book of 1 John. That every day meditate on this. Every day I will read them from end to end. But I now notice beyond reading, God started speaking through those verses. Ezekiel, if you are conversant with that 37, is showing you how life can exist out of nothing. And when I now realize that if NGO that I'm doing will give me fulfillment, let me focus on it. And I wanted to see God's mercy on it. And I was sharing with you earlier, WHO, how many of us know World Health Organization? You know WHO, yeah? They sent an invite to me. I was an altar boy, I was playing drum. They sent an invite for me to come to Abuja from Zaria. I don't have money to even come to Zaria. I remember hearing Joshua Selman saying that Bishop Oyedepo said, if what you have cannot meet your needs, sow it as what? A seed. I was in Flourish Parish, Zaria then. There was this man of God, he used to build church for Redeem and donate church. He was the one preaching that day. I was left with just 500. I was left with 500. So when that word inclined to me, I run back to the toilet, kneel down inside the toilet to pray to God. I say, Father, this 500, I believe in the word of your servant, but help me to go back home. That's all I want. And I went and I gave the protocol. I said, please give the man of God. Because he said, Hebrews also said, when Abraham Melchizedek, Abraham gave. And they said the lesser was blessed by the greater. So I look at my life, I don't have anything. This guy is a billionaire or a millionaire. And I'm in need. So the last money I have, I gave. I said, even if I would trek back home, let me go. But let me at least test this faith. Let me see it works. When I saw the man raise that money up, he was praying. I said, Father, anything he said, I claim it. Do you know 2 cars offered me a ride after that service? And one of the pastor, I didn't ask, he just came and gave me 1,500. So the other day in church now that I needed to go to Abuja, I needed 3,000. You know 3,000 is small money now, Abi? But it was very big for me. I needed 3,000. So just to cut the long story short, I was in church that faithful Sunday. Now this is the first invite I was getting from NGO, from development space. Remember, I've been doing music. So this is the first interface. And the first people that will invite me will be World Health Organization. So if God is not really ready to like launch you into where he feels that you will do more, he can decide to start with you from anywhere. But if he is showing you that I am not asking a small organization to bring you, I am calling a country, a whole country rep, a whole country office of WHO, where saying I should come. And as naive as I am, that Sunday, empty wallet. Pastor say, raise your hand, pray to God, ask God for anything you want, yeah? I carry my empty wallet. I say, Father, you know I just need praying drum. Thank you for serving you today. But you know I need to go to Abuja today. I don't have transport. How you do it, I don't know. But help me to go to Abuja. A woman right after that prayer, she's a mommy in her church. She woke up to me. She said the Holy Spirit ministered to her to give me 20,000. But she have 10,000 cash. In fact, she begged me that please take this money. That when you come back, I'm going to balance the money for you. My pastor later called me again that I should come to his house. Now, remember, this was from 500 naira that I just saw. The pastor said I should come. So I was already scared because, you know, when your pastor calls you, a lot of things goes through your head. Either you don't do something that you are not supposed to do, or they're about to correct you about something. So a lot was going through my head. I went to it. So Remy also said something. When she gave me that 10,000, I removed 1,000 and I paid back tithe. So I have a principle in life. I don't joke with tithing. I have seen it's working. I don't know what people have, but for me, I have. So I gave that, and then the pastor have international passport that I said, no, I only have ID card. They carry me to one big room and say, see your room. In fact, we have lunch, we have dinner, we have breakfast for you. For that 3 days, it's unusual. Yes? That's when God shows up. The moment you have alternative, that you don't really trust this God with everything, then don't end up finding myself doing as music entirely. Because I am saying this to encourage somebody. I came back and they paid me 27,000. That's the WHO people. I saw that money back into church as a seed. I would have been greedy to say, let me hold the money, Avi. But I can be crazy like that when I know that God can meet my needs when I call for him. So when I did that, that concert happened. To the glory of God, he came. Yeah. Even though I couldn't pay honorarium that time. But he still came from Abuja here. He drove to... So we integrated that NGO that time. Then, this is where, again, I will say, when it is God sending you into something, here on Sunday, I said, I'm the one. He said, okay. I was just thinking she was asking. Then next, she called UNICEF and said, that young man you are asking is actually in our facility. They say, where have you been all these years? We know you with Kati. Remember I told you that my grandma have NGO, yeah? So they used to fund her. But each time they elect a governor then in Kaduna, I am one of the rare privileged people